Autoimmune disorders are very serious. And if you have one and you're having children, it's even harder to control what's going on in your body with all the hormones, all the shifts that you have with your organs, your muscles, the relaxin that's building up in your body. But really, the hormones, number one, it is so hard to control the autoimmune responses that you're going to have, not just during pregnancy, but also after pregnancy. So today I'm going through my story of finding out I have an autoimmune disease because of pregnancy and basically what built up to that. Because if you are going through it right now, you are trying to have children, maybe you're pregnant right now, it can be difficult to navigate what do I do with this autoimmune disorder that really the world doesn't know that much about yet. You think we know more, right? My name's Danielle Hollembaek. I make content here for moms who are looking for health, fitness, wellness, and are very busy, usually and are very busy. They have businesses, you have careers, and you're trying to balance it all. And today we're talking about a topic that's very near and dear to my heart because I've been battling it since 2017, and that is having an autoimmune disorder, specifically one that took a long time to diagnose, and I still don't think it's 100% correctly diagnosed. So let's rewind, go back to my story. My first child was born in 2019. December 2019, that's my oldest boy, James. When I got pregnant with him, it was a surprise. I didn't expect to get pregnant. There was no prepping for it, anything like that. I wasn't taking vitamins. I was just generally a healthy person, in one of the best shapes of my life at that point. And I got pregnant and went through the motions, easy pregnancy. It was great. I had him. You know what? Before I even get there, I should step back a little bit in the story because there's one important element to the story that changes everything. So in 2017, I started having some digestive problems. Diarrhea, pains in my stomach, didn't think much of it. My diet wasn't great. I was healthy as far as like running and exercise and everything goes, but I was not healthy with my diet. So didn't really care about it, brushed it off. 2018, May, I started to get in my right eye flashes of light. Didn't know where they came from. I thought my retina has detached. Well, I went to a retina specialist. They said, no, there's nothing going on, but your optic nerve is swollen. So MS is not something that runs that deep in my family, but my uncle has MS. So they said, we're going to test you for all these blood tests, see if you have MS. And this is like the early signs of it. Very scary. Not something you want to hear when you're, how old was I? 22 years old, 23 years old when that happened. I was very scared, just turned 23, didn't really know how to navigate this whole world. Went in for a bunch of blood tests, went to a eye specialist, and she looked at my optic nerve and said, we're going to put you on this medicine because it looks like you have a little iritis going on. You have optic neurosis going on. So optic nerve was all swollen. They thought it was the actual optic nerve that was swelling. Fast forward a couple years down the road, I'll find out that was not what was going on. So that all healed, took the medicine, it all went down. Then got pregnant, 2019, had the baby. In that summer, in July, I started having eye problems again, but that time it was in both eyes. I was starting to have flashes in my left and right eye. The crazy thing is my right eye never fully recovered. I always had a little bit of vision, like a black spot that just it burned out and never came back. Left eye flared up pretty bad. And same thing happened, same medicines with the same doctors. And they said, we're going to run some more blood tests. We're going to send you to a university specialist to get another MRI. Because, before I also had an MRI back in 2018. And there was nothing wrong with my brain, no tumors, anything like that. So I didn't end up doing the other MRI because I found out they were going to do an intravenous dye thing. And if you're pregnant, you can't have it. Well, we were trying to get pregnant again. I was just a couple, 6 months postpartum with my other son. But we already knew we wanted to have a baby. I ended up being pregnant. Something inside me at the doctor's appointment said, don't do it because I think I'm pregnant. So I said no, and they said, wait 2 weeks, take a test, see if you're pregnant. I was pregnant. So I never went back for that MRI because I didn't want to get an MRI while pregnant because there's not that much science on it. You can get one. It probably wouldn't affect the baby, but I was nervous, I want the best for the baby. So then after all that went on, had Richard, my second son, in April of 2021. My eye problems went away really pretty quickly after I got pregnant. Everything went away. And my doctor told me this is some autoimmune thing. I just don't know what it is. That's why I have to run more tests, see what's going on. So had Richard, eye problems went away, perfect pregnancy. Everything was easy again. Then after I had him, another 6 months, started having eye problems again. And this time it wasn't that terrible. They were just very minor, but my left eye never recovered. So again, I have vision issues in my left eye where my vision just never came back. And it was just a little bit, I had a little bit of black something going on over there. Got pregnant again in 2022. In 2022, fine with pregnancy, everything was easy until January. The baby was born in March. So when I was pregnant with Robert in January of 2023, I started having terrible blindness in my eye. I actually went blind. I had 10, 15 minutes of my life I could not see out of my eyes, either one. That was very scary. My left eye to this day is about 20/40 vision. I have so much trouble seeing out of that eye. It is very not fun to drive at times. I don't like being out at night and driving because of it. And it's because my optic nerve, again, swelled. It's all this optic nerve swelling that I had no reason to be having. I had never had these problems during pregnancy because your immune system is repressed while pregnant. So if you have an autoimmune disease, most of the time you actually get better, but then it comes back worse after you have the baby. So that's what happened tenfold this time around. Had the baby in March. A few weeks before the 4th of July, I was like middle of June, I started getting ulcers throughout my whole entire body. It was the scariest experience I've ever had. Stomach was having extreme pains, diarrhea, I couldn't control it. Like everything I ate, the moment I ate, I'm saying within probably a couple minutes of eating, I had a shit. Terrible. It was terrible. So I let that go on for too long because I was like, oh, I think maybe I ate something wrong. Maybe I have a little bout of like a food illness or something. I ate something bad. Made it go on too long, started getting ulcers in my mouth, my throat, my stomach, all over. I could not eat for 2.5 weeks. I actually have a video right here that I posted about this years ago now, but it was after my recovery and what I was found out to have. So I had to go into the hospital because I was so sick. I had to go into the hospital, get IVs. They gave me all these blood tests that I already had run. Nothing was showing what was going on. So they did a colonoscopy. They found ulcers in my colon. And I was ultimately diagnosed with ulcerative colitis because it can cause inflammation in other parts of your body. I did recently just find out I probably actually have Crohn's disease. And it's because I went through a bout right now. I'm having a little bit of something. I'm 6 months postpartum. Something's going on in my body that's not quite right. And I have an abscess in a very not fun spot. If you have Crohn's, you probably know where it's at. And that's led my doctor to say, well, you wouldn't get an abscess anywhere in your digestive tract area unless you have Crohn's disease. And you wouldn't be getting ulcers anywhere else unless you had Crohn's disease. So I have to go in for a surgery in a week to find out what's going on there. And hopefully I find out more about what's going on. I am not a person who likes to take medicines. I have tried to heal this naturally up until this point, but it's been hard because with the pregnancies, it makes it a lot more difficult. I mean, this is what the whole video is about, is what pregnancy does to you with your autoimmune disorders. The funny thing is, I didn't have any issues while pregnant besides that one flare up in my eye that then caused, me to have the ulcers after too. But there's always low-level inflammation, I feel like, in my body. I try very hard to exercise and eat healthy to try to not have it there, but nothing has really worked. And even when I did take my medicines, they didn't really feel like they were working. So I don't know, it just hasn't been a fun ride. And if you're going through this journey right now, I know every pregnancy is different on how you respond to your autoimmune disorders. But if you have ulcerative colitis, I mean, for me, it got better, but then it just came back tenfold, so much worse. And for me, managing it came down to right after I had the baby, I started taking turmeric. That's something that I take every day. And when I stopped taking it, that's when I felt different. And that's when I started having issues. I stopped taking it around 4 months because I'm fine. I don't need this. No, the turmeric definitely did help. I also would do castor oil packs on my stomach, and I use castor oil for everything. I would feel better doing that. I stopped doing that at 4 months because I just basically got lazy. I got lazy with my routines that I should have been doing. And then I started taking AG1 right when I had this baby this time around. And I actually think all the vitamins and things that are in AG1 have helped me feel better. I've recovered a lot quicker than any other pregnancy. And I mean, my recoveries have been quick with my other babies, but it's been even quicker, which has been very interesting to see. But yeah, this whole flare-up with whatever's going on, if it's ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, whatever it is so strange. And when you're like a woman trying to nurse a baby, trying to raise your family, trying to recover from having a child and going through all those months of pregnancy, it is so difficult to not know that you can trust your body. That's what I'm going through right now. And it's kind of a difficult thing to do, but we all do it. We all have to be strong. We all have to work through it. And I still got to work every day. I still got to do everything that I got to do as a mom. But it's just one of those other challenges that you add onto your day. So I know if you're going through this right now, I'm here for you. Comment down below. Let's build a community of support in this, because it is hard. It is really hard to go through these autoimmune disorders that no one really knows what the solution is. No one really knows how to take care of them. And you'd think after all these years we'd have more research on what we should do, but we don't. And one thing that I fear for myself, you probably have these same fears, is how much worse can it get when it starts to get bad. And like for me, I'm thinking, if this is MS, how long will it take for the MS symptoms to come out? I think about it all the time, and I try to take care of myself because of that, but it's hard. It's hard, guys. Yeah, I just hope that if you are going through the same thing as me, you have an autoimmune disorder and you're going through pregnancy, that you have the best support, the best doctors, the best, family that can support you as you go through this whole process. Because I didn't have my husband there for me, helping take care of the kids, letting me rest, letting me get work done as I need to, and having weird hours of the night that I'm up and have to take a shower because I'm in pain from this stuff that's going on in my body, it would be difficult. So I'm really happy to have him, and I hope you have that support system too. So I don't know if it's much of a learning video or anything, but at least you hear about my journey. Maybe that'll help you see that you're not alone in your journey through navigating autoimmune disorders while pregnant and after pregnancy. Because like I said, it was worse after pregnancy. During pregnancy, I felt better. And it's weird now because I don't plan to have any more kids. So I don't know what the future is going to bring. And it's just a weird place to be in. That's why I think investing in my health right now and seeing how to get better is a good idea. If you like this video, guys, if you want to have more videos about autoimmune disorders and how I'm managing them, I will be putting more out on it since it is such a big part of my life at this point. And obviously with flares, that becomes a big part of who you are because you're always thinking about it right now. So if you're interested in that, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.